In Gordon Corman's fantastic novel Restart, sometimes the most important moments aren't the loud ones, they're the quiet ones. And today we're going to dive deep into Chapter 10, a chapter that might seem a little slow on the surface, but is actually the key to unlocking the entire book's central mystery. Who really is Chase Ambrose? I mean, just imagine that for a second. You wake up, and everybody, your friends, your family, your teachers, they all know who you are. They have opinions about you, memories of things you've done. The only catch? You have absolutely zero memory of any of it. Well, for Chase Ambrose, this isn't some weird thought experiment. It's his actual life. After a nasty fall off a roof, he's got amnesia, making him a complete stranger in his own story. And Chapter 10? That's the moment where he really starts to feel the incredible weight of a past he can't even remember. And this right here, this is the heart of the conflict. On one side, you have his reputation, the big shot, football star, the bully everyone's afraid of. And on the other side, you have what Chase is actually feeling inside, just a confused, kind of lost kid trying to get through the day. This huge gap between who people think he is and who he feels he is, that's the engine driving all attention in this chapter. So let's start right there with this puzzle of a boy who basically has two different identities. Who's the real Chase Ambrose? Is it the guy everyone seems to remember, or the one who can't remember a single thing? You know, Gordon Corman does something really clever here to make us feel like we're part of the investigation. By switching the point of view chapter by chapter, he puts us right there with Chase. Since Chase has no memory, we have to become detectives, piecing together the truth from what all the other characters say and how they act around him. This creates this really powerful effect that we call dramatic irony. We, the audience, know things that Chase doesn't. We know he has this dark past. So every single time he does something genuinely nice and gets a weird or scared look in return, we feel that tension. It's kind of cringy, right? We know exactly why they're reacting that way, even when he is completely clueless. So if Chase can't have flashbacks, how does the author build this sense of a dark past? Well, he makes us follow the clues, not the ones in Chase's mind, but the ones all around him. This is just a masterclass in that old writing advice, show, don't tell. I mean, the narrator could just say, Chase used to be a bully. But it is so much more powerful, so much more chilling to see an entire hallway of students literally part like the Red Sea when he walks by. That shows us a much scarier story. And there's a name for this technique. It's called indirect characterization. Instead of just being flat out told who a character is, we have to figure it out ourselves, based on how other people act around them. It just pulls you into the story so much more. And in Chapter 10, the evidence is it's everywhere. Kids jump out of his way. Conversations just stop cold the second he walks into a room. You see people whispering and staring. Every single one of these reactions is another clue, another little breadcrumb telling us, and the new Chase, that the old Chase wasn't just some jerk. He was someone people were genuinely afraid of. But all these clues from the outside, they're creating an absolute storm on the inside. And this is where we really get to see Chase's massive internal conflict. I mean, just look at this breakdown. It says everything. The world expects the old Chase, this confident, aggressive leader type, but the new Chase, he's the total opposite. He's thoughtful, he's unsure, he's completely lost. Just think about that for a second. He's at war with a version of himself that he doesn't even know exists. And this whole internal war, it's not just about Chase's drama. It's how the novel gets us, the readers, to think about some really, really big ideas. So let's unlock some of the core themes that Chapter 10 really brings into focus. So first up, the biggest one of all, identity. The book asks this question that'll just rattle around in your brain. If you erase all of someone's memories, are they even the same person anymore? Are we just a collection of our experiences, or is there something deeper, something core that makes us who we are? It's a huge question. And growing right out of that idea of identity is, of course, the theme of reputation. Chase is living this nightmare in real time. In his own head, he feels like a brand new person, but his old reputation is stuck to him like a shadow. And he can't shake it, because that reputation doesn't exist in his memory, it exists in everybody else's. Okay, so you've got this lost identity, this inescapable reputation, and it all leads up to what might be the book's most powerful theme, second chances. This is the question that beats at the very heart of Restart. Does hitting the reset button automatically wipe the slate clean? I mean, how can you hold someone accountable for doing terrible things if they genuinely, truly don't remember doing them? And the book is brilliant because it never gives us an easy answer. And of course, this whole idea starts with the fall. It wasn't just some random accident. It was a symbolic reset button. It was a literal break from his old life. But the really important part, the part Chapter 10 makes so clear, is that even when you hit reset, you still have to rebuild on top of the same old cracked foundation. So when you put all these pieces together, you start to see why this chapter, which has almost no action, is actually one of the most important chapters in the entire novel. Chapter 10 is doing so much work here. It deepens the mystery of who Chase was, it builds all this tension, not with a big fight, but with awkward silences and sideways glances. It cements that massive gap between identity and reputation, and it perfectly sets the stage for all the major conflicts that are about to explode. Really, this chapter is the pivot point. It's the moment Chase goes from just being kind of passively confused to actively realizing, whoa, something is very wrong here. He now knows for sure that there's a dark truth about himself out there, and he's got to find it. And that leaves us and Chase with the one huge question that hangs over the entire rest of the story. As he keeps finding these clues and putting the puzzle of his old self together, will he even like the person he discovers he was? It's a powerful thought to end on, and it's what makes Restart such an unforgettable read.